Hi guys, it's me, Rebecca, MRD. I just wanted to kind of come back on and maybe do a little bit of makeup while we have a chit chat. So basically I have no agenda in mind. I kind of just wanted to talk about random stuff. You know, it could be the COVID. You know, it could be, being kind of sheltered from like a lot of my friends and family. So, I mean, I still see people and talk to people on the phone and, you know, sometimes we meet up at a park or something, but it's not the same, you know? I'm kind of an extrovert and I need conversation. I need people. I need, I don't know, like this, you know, I need to be able to talk. And basically, I'm just going to get started. So speaking of, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to put on some makeup. I don't know what I'm going to use. I'm kind of just going to go with the flow and see how I feel as I get going. But I will link what I do put on at the bottom. And if you have any questions, you can always comment or send me a private message. So, all right, anyway, so speaking of, I just, you know, I really love the fact that, you know, there are people out there that are okay, just kind of happy being home. You know, they get to spend more time with their family, you know, they get to kind of just be the introverts they are, which is great. You know, they don't have to pack up, they don't have to go to work, they don't have to worry about any of that, which I think is amazing. You know, I think that if I was that kind of person, I would be completely satisfied being at home. And don't get me wrong, I am happy being home. I love being with my kids. I love just kind of having all this time watching them grow, like paying nothing but more attention to them, which is amazing because even though like we've kind of just been, you know, quarantined for the longest, like at the same time, I honestly, I mean, the time is going by so fast. My son's going to be 3 years old and my daughter is 10 months old. So it's like, you know, it's just going by so fast, guys. And, you know, I really appreciate watching every minute of this because, you know, especially with my daughter, she's my last baby. And, you know, the first year really goes by quickly. So the first thing I'm putting on is a toner, guys. Great for moisture and great for toning out the skin before you apply primer. Just an FYI. But anyway, so speaking of not having anyone to talk to, so like my husband, and hopefully you guys care about all this. Otherwise, I know you don't have to watch this video, but just putting it out there. It's just going to be a conversation about what's going on in my world. So, as it always is. So anyway, so my husband's a pilot, as most of you know, and, you know, he's in and out of town. He's mostly home, but when he's gone for like maybe a week or two at a time. And sometimes it's just a few days. But in any case, you know, I get really bored and it's really hard leaving the house because I know I can always go to my best friend's house and hang out. She just had a baby and, you know, she's been home for the most part too. And she literally lives like 5 minutes from me. But it's like, what am I going to do? Like, am I going to see like, it's really hard to get out of the house with two little ones. Like really, it's just like the most difficult thing to do. And then even just the burden of bringing two kids to somebody's house, I wouldn't do that to my best friend. So I don't want to do that to anybody. So I'm kind of just hanging out at home. No big deal. You know, I'm okay with that. Guys, this is just a primer that I'm putting on. So, you know, I just feel like it'd be easier if I had family and as well that lived closer, you know, that didn't have little ones that, you know, that we could hang out. We could talk about adult things. And don't get me wrong, I have friends. I have a few friends that live here and I'm so grateful. They're one of the few greatest people I know. And, you know, it's so nice to know that when you have, you know, no one here, like my family doesn't live here, you know, everybody's kind of spread out. It's so nice to just have, you know, some people that really just make up your village. You know, you guys know who you are. I wouldn't make it without you. So, but, you know, with this COVID thing, we've had to put a lot of stuff on the back burner. You know, I haven't been able to hang out with a lot of people. It hasn't been fun, you know, and with kids to top it off, it's not like I can just, you know, drop them and go to a friend's house and drink, watch a movie. Doesn't work that way. Not when you have kids. This is just an eye primer. So anyway, yeah. So my husband's been out of town, and I've had this conversation with my son because I'm like, well, who the heck is there else to talk to? You know? I'm like, nobody's here but my son. So it's odd because I had this conversation with him this morning and he's looking at me like I'm crazy. But basically I just started talking to him about how, you know, I don't know, like just random stuff. Like I went to pick him up and I picked him up and my back was like hurting me. And I'm like, son, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, mommy didn't mean to like scare you, but I was like, ah. And then he's like, Mom, what happened? You know, he didn't really say that, but he looked at me like all bewildered and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, honey, I'm sorry. It's not you. Mommy has a really, really bad back, you know? And I don't know what triggered this at all. Like literally, I have no idea what triggered this. But I'm sitting there talking to my son and I'm like, you know, mommy's just had such a bad back for so long. Like, you know, she hurt her back a few years ago and she's been in a lot of pain ever since then and blah, blah, blah. So he's like, Mom, you know, it's like, okay, what are you saying? So then I'm like, honey, I love you so much, but mommy's back has been killing her for so long, you know, like, I just want you to know, like, I'm in pain because I feel like my back is going to go out and I can't pick you up anymore. And it's making mommy sad because you're getting bigger. So then I started going to the whole story on how I hurt my back. Like a 3-year-old's really going to understand or care. But I was like, you know, so long story short, I told him, hey, you know, one year when me and daddy moved here, you know, mommy was walking her pug dog and she didn't know anything about black ice at the time, right? So he's like, okay. So then I'm like, yeah, black ice. Can you believe it? Like I had no clue, but this, you know, you got to understand, I'm a Florida girl. There's no such, I mean, the only thing we salt down there is margaritas, as y'all know. Like there's nothing about, there's no such thing as black ice. We don't know what the hell that is, you know? But so then I'm like, I fell down, bam, butt first. You know, I could feel the tension in my spine just tighten up. And then I'm like, okay, I'm fine. So I get up and I start walking and I'm like, okay, kind of shook it off. I'm like, I'm fine, no big deal. And then, I don't know, like out of nowhere, just like I was at work a couple of days later. This is when I worked at a salon. So I was on my feet all day. And all of a sudden, actually, I think I was a receptionist there at the time because I had just started. And my back just kind of, like, oh my God, it was the worst pain in my entire life. It just kept like shooting up my spine and I couldn't walk, I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I didn't know what to do. And the people were concerned. The worst thing about that day is I ended up taking the train, of all things. And so then, you know, my bosses let me go home and I ended up going to the doctors. and they did like a thing, and they realized, like an MRI, CAT scan, whatever. No, it was an MRI. And they ended up finding that I had a herniated disc. And I was like, oh, herniated disc. But I knew I had a bulging disc because I had back pain, I mean, we come from a long line of genetically horrible back problems. And, you know, it just like triggered it like really bad. So then, you know, I ended up going to, you know, get some bed rest, you know, and all that. I mean, I couldn't do anything for like 2 days. It was horrible. So, and that was the start of like a horrendous back issue. And once in a while it flares up. You know, I've been doing a lot of walking lately, like my husband and I, and I'm grateful for it because I love like walking, like hiking, anything outdoors. It just like calls to me, you know? And I've been the kind of person that I've always been pretty active, you know? And you know, even before I had kids, I kind of started to let myself go. And then once I had kids, I kind of let myself go a little bit more. And I was like, no, this can't be. You know, I felt healthier and I was more active when I was a young 20-something-year-old smoker, which didn't make any sense. So I was like, no, I gotta get back into the swing of things. You know, I gotta really, 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 really start, like, you know, putting more effort in for the sake of my kids. You know, I wanted them to say, hey, you know, my mom really cares about health and activity. So my husband and I started getting more, you know, especially me. I tried to get more into like, just really, really trying to take advantage of this time of, you know, of being on lockdown and saying, you know what, let's find some trails. Let's find some stuff that's going to really like, you know, kick us back into high gear. Because, I mean, I want to go back to whitewater rafting. I want to go back to like hiking mountains and, you know, doing all sorts of fun things that I haven't been able to do in a long time. So basically, that's what I've been trying to get to start doing. And then, you know, my husband's so great. He wants me to stay motivated. And, you know, it's just been so fabulous. Like, you know, like having someone to do that with. Like, if you have somebody in your life that you can work out with, it is like the best thing. Because you kind of live with your motivator. You kind of live with your life coach there. And he'll hold me true to it. Like if I say, honey, I'm going to start juicing, you know, I have to get like back in shape. I have to like, I can't be eating all this meat. And, you know, I got to get back to eating mostly veggies. And, you know, you do feel healthier doing all those kinds of things. So I just kind of, you know, and he gets it. Like, you know, he comes from a vegetarian background. He's also like, wants to be in shape, you know, he has to kind of stay in shape because he's a pilot. And, you know, so we're kind of doing this together. So anyway, so then, you know, my, I just kind of tell him, hey, you know, I got to get back into this. I got to start doing like these amazing, like, I don't know, like workouts, because I got to do something about my back. And that's basically like where we've started. So anyway, I don't know where I trekked off on that, but I was basically telling you about my son and like why he, you know, was worried about the shocking facial expression I made after picking him up. But that's, you know, I have nobody to tell that to, like no one, because who's here? Nobody's here. So, guys, I haven't put makeup on in like forever, but I am such a makeup person. I've been trying to conserve it though, because it's like, where really am I going? First of all. And second of all, these are desperate times. Like, we don't have like buku bucks for makeup anymore. You know, like most of us don't anyway. So that's kind of like, you know, where I am with all that. Anyway, so what else? What else new? I don't know. Like, I don't really know what else to say. I'm trying to think. What were we talking about? Let's talk about something fun. What can I talk about with you guys that's exciting in my life? Oh, so tomorrow we're gonna go on this like hike. It's called Seven Ridge Trail, and it's located in, if you guys ever come up here, it's located in Wisconsin, in southern Milwaukee, and it's by the lake, by Lake Michigan, and it's supposed to be like super fun. And I'm kind of excited. Like, you know, I've never been to this one. We've been trying to like I said, go hiking and seeing like all these cool new like hiking trails around the area. And it's kind of like, you know, the most fun we've had this summer is just being outdoors, which of course is always a great dose of health for your immune system and for your sanity, especially when you have little ones. Like, really, what else do you do? But that's what we've been doing, and you know, we like it, we enjoy it. So I'm trying to think of like, so we're gonna take our subs and we're gonna kind of just, you know, head out there and spend most of the day with the kids, you know. It'll be fun. So I think it'll be fun anyway. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited. It'll be good. And then, yeah, actually the kids really like hiking too. I don't think that they've complained considering their ages. You know, most of the time we've been out there, they've been pretty cool with it. Like, it's been kind of nice just being outside with them, because, you know, I feel bad. Like, I don't want them to always be like stuck at home, and you know, there's not much to do here. Besides the lake, like go swimming, and, you know, I mean, there is, normally it's Chicago, but, or we live very close to Chicago, so it's not like there's nothing to do. But, you know, it's not like, I don't know. It's not what I'm used to, you know, with the beach and stuff. But at the same time, it's also been, you know, we're not in Florida right now. So like, what the heck are we gonna do, you know? It's just been one of those challenging times of year, and we're all just trying to make it, trying to like, you know, figure out what our sanity is living in these times. And, you know, I've always felt like, I don't know, like, I don't know, like maybe this was the reason that this all happened, you know, like we really needed to kind of evaluate who we were becoming. Like I kind of felt like a lot of us realized who their true colors were, right? Like during this whole thing, like, I don't know. I have a few friends who deleted me. I don't know if it's because of all the baby pictures I put on there, but maybe because I wasn't as boisterous or because I voiced the wrong thing during this whole, like, I don't know. I think it's silly, you know, but I do have friends that have like eliminated a lot of friendships too, like just deleted people and family members. I don't know, it's kind of sad because I've never like been that kind of person to be like, oh my God, like, I don't know, like someone who would delete someone just because of their beliefs. Like, isn't that why this country's free? Because we're able to believe. Isn't that what our, you know, brave men and women of the armed forces, of the military fought for? Like, didn't they say, like, hey, you know, we're fighting for your freedom, you know? And here we are voicing our opinions, and some people just don't like it. Like, I don't know what it is. People get offended so easily nowadays, though. I think it's so sad. It's so sad because, I mean, especially, I mean, I don't know so much about, you know, why people believe what they believe. Maybe it stems from where they, you know, they were brought up, where they come from, you know. That could have a lot of the reason, which I can respect that, you know. But at the same time, like, whatever happened to the expression, you don't know what it's like to be me until you walk a mile in my shoes or something to that extent. Like, I don't know exactly how it goes, but it's like, you know, we never used to be this involved in everybody else's business, I don't think, until social media. Like, even when I became a mom, like, and I get it, like, we invite things when we post something and we kind of put it out there. But, I mean, nobody used to judge you on whether you formula fed or you breastfed. Like, people straight up ask you nowadays, hey, did you breastfeed or did you? I'm like, oh my God, that didn't used to be anybody's business back then. Nobody's business. And yet here we are, you know, 2020. And people are asking you who you're gonna vote for, you know? And why? And if you vote for this person, I'm gonna unfriend you. And I mean, or you're dumb for voting for this person, or, you know, or there's a conspiracy theory because you're voting for this person. It's like, get over it. Like, there's really no rhyme or reason on why I'm voting for this person other than my beliefs. This is what I feel needs to be done in this country. This is what I feel is headed in this direction for this country. I get it. Not everybody wants to believe that. Hey, more power to you. You know, like, if you want to be political and you want to say, hey, you know, I don't agree with what you're saying, and here's why. And you can give me some, like, real facts, you know? But even then, people, like give you links to like real facts-based sites. Or I'll give somebody a link and they'll be like, oh, that's a part of this party. That's not true. That's the fake news media for you. That's what people say. So it's like, people question everything. Like, people are questioning, guys. And I'm not trying to laugh because, I mean, I don't want to offend anyone, but at the same time, people like believe that the earth is still flat. Like, it's not round. Like, what the hell? Where did that come from? You know? Why is that even a thing? Didn't that get disproven a long time ago? You know? And then there's these parodies on TikTok about it. And I'm like, what? And then they're like, so I'm like, is like the deep state, like how people are saying, I guess it's called, I see a lot of the time, hashtag deep state. Is that like people saying, and I really want to know this, like, I'm not trying to be like facetious or anything, but is that like the new Illuminati? Is that like what people think it is? I don't know. I mean, and then, you know, they were pulling away from COVID-19 and saying something about human sex trafficking, and not that that's not serious. Obviously, child sex trafficking or any kind of human sex trafficking is awful. It's just awful, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. And I think that's terrible, like, for even having to be in that kind of situation. But my question is, so in all seriousness, my question is, do you guys think that COVID-19 was really trying to distract from that? Or can't they both be important? Like, can't one thing have nothing to do with the other? You know? I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that way. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out, right? So, I don't know. There's so many crazy things that have happened right now. And I'm just trying to like wrap my head around it. And I think we just also had a lot of time on our hands during this whole lockdown order for most people. And I think it led to a lot of this like conspiracy and ideologies that were going a certain way. I think it's very interesting, but I don't know. We shall see. We shall see how everything plays out. But I don't know. I'd like to hear your thoughts on everything. I think some of us also took on more positive things like projects. So that's how me and my husband have spent our time. You know, we've really been trying to like ump app, that's not even a word. I don't even know what I'm saying, but we've been trying, I don't even know what I'm looking for to say, but we've been trying to like make like my kid's basement into like this really like fancy playroom. Like, my best friend has like the most amazing playroom for her daughter, but we wanted to do something similar but different, right? Like, we wanted to reach out to each of our kids and kind of like make a good space for both of them and for individuality. And, you know, as they grow, somewhere they can play and have fun, especially in the winter here. Oops, messed it up. Especially in the winter here. Like, you know, I think, you know, such long winters here, and they have nowhere to really play outside. I mean, you can go outside. It's not like, you know, you can't go outside because it's winter, but it's very limited, right? Like, you can't hang out outside like you do in the winter in Florida or Georgia or whatever. Like, it's a different, brutal winter here, especially if it gets to like polar vortex temperatures, which are horrendous, guys. horrendous. I mean, negative. I mean, it gets below 0. Like, what the hell is below 0? I had no idea. But yeah, it gets like below zeros, and I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. I feel like, you know, a lot of the times we feel that, you know, you can't live somewhere because it's so brutally cold. I mean, it sucks, yeah, but I mean, Florida was so hot most of the year, you know, that you couldn't do much, like, unless you were at the beach or inside somewhere air conditioned. So it's like, it's basically the same thing, you know, when it comes to, you know, winter. Up north. So that's kind of the way I feel anyway. But yeah, so we're trying to make them a nice fun place, especially to spend a lot of like the rainy days and the winter days down in the basement. So that's been kind of the project we've been working on forever. We've been trying to figure a lot of things out. We've been trying to kind of just go with it. Just kind of see, you know, in what direction. I've been looking at Pinterest a lot. I've been redoing old pieces of furniture. I've been learning about decoupage. So there's a lot of stuff out there, guys, that you can keep your mind occupied with. It's really positive. And if you really like want to believe in these movements, you know, and you know, join something though. Like, stop posting on social media, to be honest, because that's not helping anyone. I mean, it might raise a little bit of awareness, but if you're not actually going out there and backing it up with action, I don't think it's really gonna work. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know so much about all that, but I do know that like when I'm passionate about something, like I'm really passionate about this makeover project right now, I actually do something about it. Like I've slowly, but I've been doing something about it. Like I've actually been quite involved in trying to make, you know, something, I don't know, I'm crazy. So anyway, so I hope that you kind of get where I'm coming from. I don't know that you will. I don't know, but that's kind of where kind of like where I am with all that. Just this is a really pretty color. I hope it's not too bright, but I love it. I mean, I'm not going anywhere, but I wanted to do something fun while I was talking to you guys. So I wasn't just talking. Normally I would put on lip liner, but I forgot it upstairs. So I don't even have my lip gloss here. So matte one shade lipstick it is. But anyway, so that's pretty much all I have to say, guys. I don't know, like maybe I bored you. Maybe I kept you entertained. Maybe it was something better than just the usual on social media or on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, so here's the grand finale. I hope you guys loved it. And I don't know why I'm making that face. But yeah, so let me know if you liked it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Ciao.